Hello, my name is Amanda Hovey Weldon. I'm a registered nurse, and I'm the admissions coordinator and social service nurse in the long-term care, short-term rehab at Kennybrook Village. I'm going to be discussing 3 topics here, resident rights, abuse, as well as grievances. So to start off, I will start talking about resident rights. Everyone at a long-term facility has rights. Examples of these can be generalized to be treated with dignity and respect, to be free of abuse, to make their own care decisions, which includes what time they'd like to get up and what time they'd like to go to bed, as well as times of showering or if they prefer baths, and to also be part of their care planning if they choose to. More specific rights that people are allowed, such as to have access to telephones, visiting, reading material, and attending any activities if they choose. There are many patient advocates available, including family, my role at Kennybrook as the social service nurse, and the ombudsman. Beth is her name, and her contact information is outside of my office, which I'll show you later. The next subject I'm going to be talking about is abuse. There are several types of abuse: physical, emotional, financial, sexual, neglect, as well as an abandonment. If you see something, say something. There is no retaliation in reporting abuse in good faith. If you see something, please make sure that the resident is safe and then immediately notify your nurse or a member of the nursing leadership. Timing is imperative, as all abuse reports need to be initially investigated and reported to the state within 2 hours. The final subject that I'm going to be talking about is grievances. These include often lost, missing, broken, as well as things as extended call light times. They can be reported by families, residents, or staff members. A state survey question that is very important to remember is who the grievance officer is. It's me. So once I receive a grievance, I investigate the problem, I speak to residents and families if needed, and speak with staff members. I will then search for the item if that's what's missing and try and find a solution to make sure that the grievance doesn't reoccur and to find a resolution with the resident and/or family. JC, our executive director, is also notified of these grievances and helps find a possible resolution. I keep these resolved grievances forms for our quality assurance performance improvement, otherwise known as QAPI, as well as for state surveys, which they can be asked to be seen. One important thing that I always like to stress is to please be mindful of hearing aids and dentures. These items are often small, get wrapped up in tissues, put into Kleenex boxes, and can be very expensive and hard to replace. Here are several resources for family members as well as residents. We have a list of agencies able to assist any residents and/or family members. It's got the ombudsman phone number, as well as state and disability rights of Iowa. Here is another photo of our care ombudsman. Her name is Beth Burks, as well as a phone number and email for her to be reached. And then over here is just a small area that talks about resident rights. Over on this table, there are some resources and brochures for families to gather. We've got several different things regarding our Unity Point care team, some hospice information here, as well as a CNA training program. Here are many brochures regarding, again, hospices, our ombudsman, as well as some home care options here. I also have several in my office for families and residents also. Here we have our resident rights. As you can see, it gets pretty in-depth of all the different rights that, of course, our long-term care residents do have. There's planning and implementing care, choice of attending physician, respect and dignity. There was self-determination, as well as any financial things. Here's a copy of our state survey results. We are required to have these available for any family members or residents to look at if they so choose. And this just has any correction acts if there were any deficiencies. Here is a copy of Kenny Brook Village Resident Council. So every month in the long-term care, Jess, who is the activity director, as well as myself and JCR executive director, have a resident council meeting where residents are able to come and speak freely about any questions, concerns that they have at Kenny Brook, as well as any suggestions that they'd like for activities, mealtime, leisure, just anything like that. Please, I've got an open door policy to my office. If anybody ever has any concerns or problems, please feel free to reach out. Thank you.
Hey everybody, in this next section we're going to be talking about elopement. So I'm going to show you some of the tools that we have to keep people from eloping and how to use them to keep people safe. So let's get going. Hey everybody, we're at our main skilled entrance door. So this is SNF1, so it's printed on in big letters outside of the outside door, SNF1. So all the doors are labeled to allow the fire department to know which door to go to, or any kind of emergency personnel, and also to let us know if there are any doors that we need to go to too. So if a certain door is opened, it will tell us over our walkie-talkie system which door was opened. So get familiar with our door numberings. So over here, on all of our doors, we have keypads. So the keypads allow that access through the door. So it's a normal access. So if I needed to go out of this door, I would punch in the code and then I would be able to go out. However, all of our exterior doors, they are equipped with delayed egress. It's a fire system. So if there's any kind of emergency where someone would need to go out, they would need to push on the door. And then in 3 seconds, the door starts beeping like this. And at this time, I want all the employees to hear that and be able to come up to the door to figure out what's going on. After 15 seconds, the door will be able to open just like that. And there's Teresa right now. She's seeing what's going on. Please note that during the fire alarm, the door locks automatically drop, allowing the doors to be pushed open without the delayed egress. After the fire alarm, please do a head count to make sure everyone is in place and no elopement has occurred. All right, so this is our SNF door number 2. This is in our rehab hallway center. So this is our west door for emergency access, or if we needed any kind of access in and out of this door. So keypads up here to allow us to go in and out of this door freely. It has the delayed egress like the last door. And then also all of our doors, so even the last one, we have what's called a Wander Guard system. So what that Wander Guard system does is there's 2 components. So it has a transmitter part, and basically this is worn on a wrist, on anywhere on the body, and then basically it can tell if the transmitter is near. So if the transmitter is near this, it will not allow this normal access to happen. It also, if the door is open, it will also send out an alert so that staff can know to come up to SNF2 door to find out what's going on. So that's going to be across the paging system and an audible alert from that that device. So after that, a different code would need to be put in to shut that off.
Now let's put this WanderGuard system to the test. First off, we need a resident. Meet Al. He likes long walks on the beach and to the nearest Heavenly Delights for an ice cream cone. Let's see how staff respond.
WanderGuard, South Skills door. South Skills Nursing door.
This is not the correct way to respond. Staff need to find the cause of the alarm. This would be an elopement. Let's try this again.
WanderGuard, South Skills door. South Skills Nursing door.
She looked outside and found Al. This would not be an elopement since she responded correctly to a system designed to prevent an elopement.
All right, another part of our door system is this alert reset keypad. So basically, we have it set up so that whenever the door is opened, an alert will go through the walkie-talkies and the radios. So this isn't an audible alert from right here. It only goes through the walkie-talkies and then on the R-Care system. So how that works is that this device up here can tell when the door has been opened. So when the door opens, it will tell us that this door has been opened. So it will give us instructions on which exact door it is. To reset this, we put in our code and then we hit the lock key, and that will reset it so that it's ready for the next time. So the important thing about this is that we want to make sure that when someone hears that this particular door has been opened, that they come up to this door, find out why it's been opened. Actually, look around, make sure that, if there's no one in this hallway, take a look outside. Go outside, walk around, find out what happened. All right, everybody, we're at the nurses station in our skilled section. One of the things that I do want to show you what we have for the residents is a resident sign out book. It's actually right here. It's a binder. Whenever a resident would leave the facility, they would need to be signed out. So basically, if someone is not seeing one of the residents around and they're not sure if they've been signed out or not, we want them to check the book to make sure that they've been signed out. If they haven't been signed out, then the process goes further. So that's kind of what that book is for, and we want everyone to use it. All right, we're at the front desk. So we have here we have the assisted living binder, sign out binder. We have this at the front desk, and also we have another binder over at our entrance to the assisted living section. Basically, everyone that's going to be leaving needs to sign out in that book. Just to know that that communication's in place. All right, we're gonna head on over to Maggie's and I'll show you some stuff over there. All right, we're getting into some nice weather here at Kenny Brook. This is our memory care building. It's called Maggie's Place. So there are a couple things to know about when you go inside. All right, so we're at the front door to Maggie's Place. So you see the keypad right here. If I would code in, it will still set the alert off on their pagers inside. So what we want to do if we're coming and going as employees, we have a button that's right here. You hit the button and then you code into the door. That won't set their pagers ablare. So let's go ahead and go on into Maggie's. So yeah, we're at Maggie's. I'm with the head of household, Taylor. So she's in charge of everything that's happening over here at Maggie's. So what's the connection between an increase in amount of elopement with memory care?
They get confused, especially when they're transitioning, first moving in here, everything's unfamiliar. A lot of times they're looking for their children, or they need to get to their husband, they need to get to the store. It's just kind of scary, so we have to really monitor that people aren't trying to get out the doors and eloping, but the highest time is usually during transition, or if it's about time to go to the next level.
What are some of the dangers of elopement?
People don't know where they're going. We got a highway out there. There's vehicles parked. They may not be properly dressed. It's easy to get lost out there. A lot of people aren't even from Grimes. So staff need to check the doors every shift, make sure that the alarms are operating, that they are locking, and that they do open after 15 seconds per fire regulations. If something is not operating correctly, we get a hold of Randy immediately. It's a top priority. Need to check that back gate every shift as well. Have people sign in. They need to make sure that they're signing their loved ones out. So if we can't find them, that's one of the first things we'll do is go and make sure that they're not signed out. If we find that we can't find someone, we need to search everywhere, including bathrooms. Yeah, I don't know.
Pretty good. Yep. So I'm going to take you guys on a little tour of the back gate and show you show you some of the stuff with the back gate.
Yeah, and we have a door alarm, and someone's ringing the doorbell right now, so nobody can come in that's not a team member that does not have the code. We have to let them in and out.
All right. We'll see ya. Hi. Nice weather is upon us. Summer's almost here. We can't wait. So over at Maggie's, what we have, we need access with lawnmowers and with everything else into this lovely back area at Maggie's. One of the things that we have is this gate, so that allows that access with the lawnmowers. So we're on the outside of the gate. It's easier to lock the gate from the outside. It uses this round oval key right here, and then basically this peg goes up into the slot, and then the key goes in, and then you turn it counterclockwise. That's the lock, and then just go ahead and walk around the front. But definitely double check it. Make sure that every shift you cover it. Making sure that it is locked. So this is one of the pagers that the staff over at Maggie's Place carries with them at all times. So this tells us what door has been opened. So let's go ahead and try the front door without hitting that red button and see what happens. All right, I'm gonna go out. Yep, do you hear it going off? And then there you go. So that's how that works. So, all right, that wraps up this part of the skills fair on elopement. Make sure that you finish up those quizzes and get them turned in, and we'll see you soon.
All right, so welcome to Skills Fair 2024 Spring Edition. My name's Kelly Moore. I am the DON at Kennybrook Village in Grimes, and I'm here to discuss customer service with you, or how I affect those around me every single day. So most of this information will be directed mainly to the nursing department, specifically CNAs, but everyone could probably buff up on their customer service and try to think about what you do and how you affect those around you. So of all the job opportunities in long-term care, I think the position of the CNA has the most potential to impact the residents' lives in a positive way or a negative way on a daily basis. So I want you to know that what you do matters, what you say matters, and how you hold yourself accountable and others accountable matters. So number one, starting your day off or your shift off in a positive way. Being on time means starting your shift when your shift begins, or letting your nurse and team know that you're going to be late, calling in if you're stuck in traffic or you know you're not going to be there. Just give them a call and let them know. When you do get to the facility, let your nurse and your teammates know that you're there and find out what the game plan is. What's going on for the day? Are there appointments? Who has showers? Who's going to do the showers? Are there skin checks? Knowing all of these things at the beginning of your shift will make everyone's day go smoother. Is the skin doctor coming today? Is the podiatrist going to be here? You know, you don't have to wait for the nurse to tell you those things. You can ask the nurse as well. And any of you can call a huddle in the morning as well too. So at 10 o'clock or 9:30, if you have time and you want to discuss something, call a huddle. The CMAs can call a huddle, the nurse can call a huddle, Shelby can call a huddle. We just need to get back into the habit of doing that on a daily shift-to-shift basis. But back to your day, make sure when you hit the floor you have everything you need. And as a CNA, you have equipment that you need as part of your uniform every single time, and you should all know what this is. To do your job effectively, you need a walkie that's turned on and functional. You need a gait belt, your name tag, and a care plan that's updated. Shelby will be talking about transfers and gait belts, so I'm going to let her do that and the importance of having that care plan that's up to date and on your body at all times. And she'll be talking about that with you guys if she hasn't already. So quality rounds. I can hear the moans from here. Quality rounds, I know many are resistant to this, but I'm here to tell you it is here to stay. This is an expectation of mine. And we're doing this specifically for the residents. This will be done between every shift. And there's a big reason for it. I want you guys to work together and be a team, number one. And I want to make sure that every resident is safe at the end of your shift and at the beginning of the next shift. So first of all, make sure, like I said, if you're running late, you let your team know. There's nothing worse than starting your day or your shift short, not knowing who's coming in to help or when. So call the facility, let them know you're going to be late or what's going on. Use the care-based cell phones and get those numbers in your phone if you don't already. Hopefully the previous shift can wait for you to get there. But you know how that feels when somebody calls off or they're not there and you don't know what's going on. So it causes anxiety and stress.
What time is it? Am I supposed to be on the clock today? I don't have nothing worse for Milwaukee. Am I supposed to be here today? What time it is? What day it is? Wait, are my shoes untied? What is going on?
Everything, and I mean everything we do in this building should revolve around those residents and their safety and their care, and putting eyes on every resident at the beginning of your shift and the end of your shift protects those residents. How many times have we come in and we found someone sitting on the foot feet of the recliner that's up, or laying on the floor, or don't have their call light, or upset because they can't reach their call light, or whatever it is. So we go in, we observe these people, we find out what's going on at the beginning and the end of the shift and make sure that they're safe. So I would also like for you to do check-in changes on those that need it. We know who those people are. Just check them. If they're dry, hallelujah, praise the Lord. But if they're wet and they need to be changed, go ahead and do that. We want to prevent any skin breakdown, and having them dry and clean at the beginning of your shift protects them until you can get to them and get them up and ready for their day. So moisture associated skin breakdown, we want to decrease that as much as we possibly can. And we all know that skin breakdown or damage occurs frequently in our dependent adults who are frail and don't eat as much protein as they should. Quality rounds give you an opportunity to put eyes on each resident and make sure that they're okay. We have many residents on hospice. We have many residents that are full codes. So it would behoove each and every one of you to know and make sure the status of each resident at the beginning of your shift and the end of your shift. There's a list of things to check during quality rounds. We've all seen this. Make sure, number one, the call light's in reach, that their fluids are within reach. Their hands and their face are clean. I've been getting some complaints recently that we're not cleaning the resident's face and hands as much as we should. We all know we're supposed to be doing that. You know, if they're sleeping, I don't care if their hair's combed neatly, but in the middle of the day, I would certainly hope that their hair is neat. They're positioned properly in their wheelchair or their bed or recliner. The resident's clean and dry. Their clothes are clean and dry. I'd like to see all men shaven because I'm pretty sure they were all shaved when they could shave themselves. Their personal alarms, if they have them, are in place and working. Any safety devices are in place. Their floor mats, bolsters, whatever it is. That their room is free of clutter. Their foot pedals are picked up. There's no tissue on the floor or anything that they might want to bend over and try to pick up and fall as a result. Their garbage is emptied. Their dishes are removed. Get those room trays out of that room. That their room is free of odors and their floor is free of stains. So if you walk into a room and you're like, oof, you know, something needs to be taken out here and you can't find the source, then you need to let your nurse know. If there's stains on the floor, maintenance needs to know that so they can extract that. We were cited for that on our last survey. If the room temperature feels too cold or too warm, that also needs to be reported to your nurse. And you just write this on here. If you do a check and change, you write that on here as well. You both sign it and you turn this into your charge nurse. If there's concerns, you say, this is what we found. This needs to be addressed, and we will get that addressed as soon as possible. So there's a reason for every single thing on this list, and that's why we're doing the quality rounds. So another big piece of this is fall prevention. I think there's a lot of things that we can do in this building to prevent falls. We have people who are declining, and many of them will continue to decline. Our resident on hospice may fall frequently because they have terminal restlessness and cannot get comfortable either emotionally or physically. And so we give them meds to kind of help them with this, which can also potentially contribute to falls. So we need to have eyes on these people. Don't be afraid to sit with these people, or make sure when you're charting you can kind of see into their rooms maybe. If you want to take your break in the common area so that you can be sitting at those tables and have eyes on those people, then you can put in for a meal reimbursement if you do take your break on the floor. Sit in their rooms where you can visualize them to chart. But West Hall has been having the majority of the falls, so I would like to see an increase in walking rounds during your day and look in every single room and make sure the residents are safe. Oftentimes there are things that we can do proactively to prevent falls, and one of them is using gait belts with transfers and ambulation every single time. If they need you to walk beside them, having your hand on their back isn't enough. If they are assistive one or standby assist to walk, I would like to see you have a gait belt on them. If they stumble for any reason, having your hand behind them is not going to be enough. So get that gait belt on them, have your hand under the gait belt. Walking beside someone with the gait belt on and not having your hand under that gait belt isn't going to help them either. So we have had falls where the resident had a gait belt on and they may not have gone to the floor. They didn't go to the floor because the gait belt was on. It's still a fall because they've stumbled and they would have fallen if you weren't there. But we want to protect the people from fractures and getting injured. So having that gait belt on will prevent that. Look at the floor. you know, these little ladies are going to pick that tissue up off the floor. They're going to bend over, and we have had falls simply because that resident was bending over from the recliner or their wheelchair to pick something up off the floor, lost their balance, fell on their face, got hurt. And that's definitely something that we can potentially prevent just by making sure the floor is free of debris. So, take pride in your work. Make sure your residents are clean. If they need a protector at meals, put that protector on so that they don't get food spilled on their clothing. That'd be the easiest thing to do. Do your oral cares. Wash your hands between your residents. Wash your lifts off between the residents. This is something that I feel like we just have not been doing enough of, and so we're going to be doing audits and watching that specifically. The closer we get to our survey window, these are things that need to be done every single time. So make sure your care plans are updated, your foot pedals are on. Anybody that I see pushing a wheelchair without foot pedals on is going to get written up. I've talked to family members today about putting foot pedals on while you're pushing a wheelchair, and I will not have a resident break an ankle because we're not putting those foot pedals on. So customer service, before you leave that room, turn around, look at the floor, look at the trash, look at the resident, make sure they've got everything they need. Ask them one more time, is there anything else I can do for you? And that means so much to them. And if they say, nope, I'm good, you know, then that reinforces that, nope, they're good. And hopefully you won't have to be back in there in a short period of time. So that's really all I have. We're a 5-star facility. We do things the right way, and we will continue to do things the right way for the resident every single time, every day, every shift, every moment that we can. I appreciate everything you do. You're a great team, and I'm so proud to be a part of it. And we're going to do quality rounds between every shift. Thanks for being here today.